Champions League predictions are back. Hello guys, and welcome back to yet another video on the Champions League predictions as we head into week 4 of the Champions League phase. And I tell you what, it's been interesting so far. We've got 3 English teams at the top of the Champions League table, with Aston Villa first, Liverpool second and Manchester City third. Will it stay that way? Well, let's find out today. Guys, I'm going to give you my predictions today, but be sure to give me your predictions down in the comments. I will list the fixtures in the description, so copy and paste and let me know your predictions. Make sure to drop a like on this video. Let's try and get 2,000 likes. It takes 2 seconds to hit the thumbs up button, so please be sure to do so to support this channel. And while you're there, make sure you are subscribed. Once again, it takes 2 seconds and you can help this channel get to 82,000 subscribers, so please get involved. I must add that thankfully this was pre-recorded at the start of the weekend, because over the weekend I broke my nose playing football, as some of you might have seen me say in the community page. Hopefully I will be back to recording championship content tomorrow. And let's get straight into the predictions. We start with PSV versus Girona. Now then, there is not a lot to separate these two in the Champions League table. As you can see, PSV are 28th and Girona are 24th. Last time out for PSV, it was a 1-1 draw away at PSG. Noah Lang got the goal before PSG equalised, and it's a decent draw, so fair play to PSV. And as for Girona, last time out, they did win 2-0 at home to Slovan Bratislava, who've really struggled so far in this competition. We've highlighted the quality that Girona have got. Stuani, Danjuma, Van de Beek, they've got lots of quality, but I was really impressed with PSV and their draw away at PSG. I reckon the home team might just pinch this. I'm going to predict PSV 2, Girona 1. I will go with both teams to score in this one, but I think PSV might just edge it. They've got the home advantage, as I say, and I think they are being tipped to be the favourites with the odds. So I'm just going with PSV. Share your thoughts on that one down in the comments. Next up then, and we have Slovan Bratislava versus Dinamo Zagreb. Now, Dinamo Zagreb, last time out, they won 2-0 away at RB Salzburg. That's put them up to 22nd in this table, and I think they will fancy their chances away at Slovan Bratislava, who are 36th, which means they are bottom of this table, of course, with 36 teams being involved. They've lost every game. They need a result. They've got the home advantage, but I just don't know if I fancy them. We've highlighted the players that Slovan Bratislava have got. Barcelona, I believe, is the top scorer in the Slovakian league, so you think they might have goals in them. But like I say, it was a really good result for Dinamo Zagreb last time, and I think I'm going with them. I think the goal scorers last time were Kalenovic and Petkovic. Maybe those two will get involved again. I'm going to go Slovan Bratislava 0, Dinamo Zagreb 2. I am backing the away team to win again. Like I say, really impressive last time. And if they can make it back-to-back wins in this Champions League phase, they will go shooting up the table. So I am backing them to win this one away from home 2-0. Next up then, and we have Bologna versus Monaco. Bologna 29th in the Champions League table. Monaco 4th. They are the highest ranked team from outside of England in this league table right now. And they got a great win last time. 5-1 winners at home to Red Star Belgrade. Minamino got himself 2 goals. Imbolo scored as well. And I think Monaco will really fancy their chances in this one. They are being tipped to win this game. And that's despite Bologna having good players like Santiago Castro and Orsolini as well. Bologna did lose last time, of course, 2-0 to Aston Villa away from home. That's no disgrace, though. Aston Villa are top of the Champions League table. I'll give Bologna a goal, but I am going to go for the favourites here, which are Monaco. I'll go Bologna 1, Monaco 2, and it really does look like Monaco have a real good chance of finishing in that top 8. And remember, the top 8 goes straight through into the next round, whereas the teams behind them go into the playoff phase. I am backing Monaco to win this one 2-1. Next up then, and we have Borussia Dortmund versus Sturm Graz. Now, this one to me feels incredibly easy. I'm going to back Borussia Dortmund, and probably quite heavy. Let's not forget though, Borussia Dortmund did lose quite heavily in the last game in the Champions League. They were 2-0 up at the Bernabeu and they lost 5-2 to Real Madrid. They really did let that one get away from them. I think it was Milan and Gittens who put them in front, but like I say, to lose 5-2, they really need to bounce back, and I think they will. Sturm Graz have struggled. They lost 2-0 at home to Sporting in their last game. They are winless in this competition, played 3, lost 3. I think they've scored 1. I don't think they're going to score here. I'm going heavy on Borussia Dortmund to go back to winning ways in the Champions League. Borussia Dortmund 3, Sturm Graz 0 is my prediction for this one. Share your thoughts on that one down in the comments, but I would imagine most of you are going to agree that Borussia Dortmund should win, and probably quite heavily. The next game is Celtic versus RB Leipzig, and this one is interesting because I have said with Celtic when predicting them in the Champions League that I fancy them a bit more when they're at home. Remember, they won their first game 5-1 against Slovan Bratislava at home, and then they lost 7-1 away to Borussia Dortmund, but let's give them credit. Last time out in the Champions League, they did get a 0-0 draw at Atalanta, which is a decent result. Backs against the wall, just take a draw away from home and then get back at home and try and get something else. But this will be difficult. RB Leipzig are a good team. I know they're 31st in this league table, but they've had some difficult games. They lost 1-0 at home to Liverpool last time, and I think RB Leipzig come into this as favourites with the odds. They have got Sesko, they have got Openda, but we've highlighted that I like Maeda and Kyogo for Celtic, so I think Celtic might be able to get something. I'm going to go for another draw, which wouldn't be a bad result for Celtic. I'm going to go 1-1. I'm not saying Celtic can't win. They certainly could, but like I say, RB Leipzig are also very capable of winning this one. But I'm going for a draw. Share your thoughts. The next game is Lille versus Juventus, and last time out, I was quite surprised by both of their results. Juventus lost 1-0 at home to Stuttgart in stoppage time, and as for Lille, what a great win for them. They won 3-1 away at Atletico Madrid. So that does mean that we've now got Lille and Juventus coming into this game next to each other in the Champions League table. Lille are 15th, Juventus are 14th. What's my prediction for this one? Like I say, very impressed with Lille last time. A great win away at Atletico Madrid. They had to do it towards the end. Zagreb got 1, and then it was Jonathan David got 2 goals. Juventus, of course, have quality, but I was very disappointed with their result against Stuttgart. I believe they had a red card as well. I'm going to go for another draw. 1-1 again for this one. I think this one really could go either way, so share your thoughts, but I'm going down the middle. Next up, and we go to Anfield for Liverpool versus Bayer Leverkusen, and this one is really exciting. It's the Xabi Alonso derby. Of course, at the end of last season, when we knew that Jurgen Klopp was leaving Liverpool, he was one of the names heavily linked with going to Liverpool after the incredible work he's done as manager at Bayer Leverkusen, but he did stay, and they come into this one both quite high up in the Champions League table. Liverpool are 2nd, Bayer Leverkusen are 6th. How do I see this one playing out? Well, like I say, last time Liverpool, they won 1-0 away at RB Leipzig in the Champions League. Bayer Leverkusen drew 1-1 with Brest. Both got so many good players. You got Nunez, Salah, you got Schick, you got Wirtz, all on the same pitch. I think both teams will score, but I'm just backing Liverpool. And you can call me biased for being English, but they have got the home advantage, and I think they might just have a bit more quality. So I'm going to go Liverpool 2, Bayer Leverkusen 1. I'm just backing Liverpool in the Xabi Alonso derby 2-1. Next up, and we have Real Madrid versus AC Milan, 2 heavyweights of these European competitions. Real Madrid with an incredible win last time in the Champions League, 5-2 against Borussia Dortmund, having to come from behind in the Jude Bellingham derby. Now, as good as that result is for Real Madrid, it's easy to get carried away and forget that they have had some bad results this season. They did lose, of course, 4-0 to Barcelona recently. As for this one, Vinicius, Mbappe, Rodrigo, they've got that much quality that they are going to score goals. But what are AC Milan going to do in this game? Well, AC Milan won 3-1 at home to Club Brugge last time. They've, of course, got the quality of Rafael Leao, Pulisic and Morata, of course. So I'm going to go with both teams to score again. and I'm going to go Real Madrid to win this one. 3-1 is my prediction. I'm going to go for Real Madrid. Like I say, when this competition really gets going, Real Madrid are the team that you think will go quite far. So Real Madrid 3, AC Milan 1 is my prediction. What's your thoughts? Next up, we have Sporting versus Manchester City, and I am really excited for this one because as a Coventry fan, I have got a vested interest in seeing how Victor Gyökeres carries on. He's been scoring loads of goals in the Portuguese league. He scored a few in the Champions League this season, and now he's coming up against the Premier League winners, Manchester City, who are expected to go on and do really well in this competition. Manchester City are 3rd in this table. Sporting are 8th. Let's talk about Sporting first though, because of course Ruben Amorim is going to Manchester United, which is big news. What will that mean for Sporting going forwards? As for Manchester City, they were really good in the Champions League last time. 5-0 home win against Sparta Prague. They just make some games look so easy. Haaland, Grealish, Foden, De Bruyne, Rodri, they've just got so much quality, haven't they? Now I know Manchester City have been struggling with injuries. They will have a couple of those key players out, I believe, but I still think they've got so much quality to just get through this one. I don't think it'll be easy, but I am going to go for Man City. Sporting 1, Man City 2. I think Man City will keep up this 100% start in the Champions League this season. Next up, and we have Club Brugge versus top of the Champions League table, Aston Villa. Fair play, Aston Villa. You are absolutely flying. What a return to European football. How do I think you'll get on in this one? Well, I think I've backed Aston Villa most weeks. I think I might have backed them to just draw with Bayern Munich, but they won that game as well. So I would be foolish to not go for Aston Villa. They did go out of the League Cup, and of course they're doing pretty well in the Premier League. They're doing really well in this competition. I think these are the two competitions that Aston Villa really should focus on because they are the highest prestige competitions that they will be involved in this season, and I think this is really winnable. Club Brugge are 26th in the Champions League table. They lost 3-1 to AC Milan last time. Aston Villa won 2-0 against Bologna, of course. And with McGinn, Watkins, Bailey and Duran coming on off the bench, they've just got so much quality and so much firepower that I think Villa will win. And I think they might keep a clean sheet. I'm going to go for another fairly routine Aston Villa 2-0 win. I've just been so impressed, and it's not just that they've got great players and a really passionate fan base, but they've got the manager. They've got Unai Emery, who has proven in these competitions, which is absolutely fantastic for Aston Villa in their return to this competition. So yeah, I do think Aston Villa will get through this one. I think it could be fairly easy. And Villa fans, share your thoughts. How far are you going to go this season? Because if you stay in that top 8, you go straight on into the next round, and I think that is really possible right now. So I'm back in Villa again. The next game is Shakhtar Donetsk versus Young Boys, and this feels like a really big game down at the bottom of the Champions League table because these two might not get many opportunities to win. As you can see, Shakhtar Donetsk are 30th, Young Boys are 35th. They both need to win this game to really get moving, and I think I have a favourite. Shakhtar Donetsk. I think with the home advantage and the performance against Arsenal, which wasn't that bad when you consider Arsenal are one of the teams that should be expected to go really far and they only lost 1-0. I thought Shakhtar were okay. Young Boys, on the other hand, they were also fairly unfortunate, I guess, to lose 1-0. They lost in the final minutes against Inter Milan. Like I say, they've both got to try and win this. Young Boys have Zambula, Shakhtar Donetsk have like Sikan and Zubkov. I'm going to back Shakhtar Donetsk 1-0. If I base it on their previous results in the Champions League, I think it could be low scoring. Watch that go and be wrong and it'll be 3-3. But no, I'm going 1-0 to the home team. The next game is Bayern Munich versus Benfica, and this is an interesting one. If you look just at the Champions League table, you'd think Benfica might get something from this game because they're higher than Bayern Munich. But Benfica did lose last time 3-1 at home to Feyenoord. But it's been even worse for Bayern Munich recently. They lost 4-1 in their last Champions League game away at Barcelona. And before that, of course, they lost to Aston Villa. So they really need to get back on track and win this game. Otherwise, they could be heading for an early exit. Bayern Munich have got the quality. There's no doubt about it. Kane, Elise, Muller, Gnabry, Sane, Musiala. I think they're going to find a way of winning this one. Benfica have Aktoglu. He scored in the last game against Feyenoord. I think he might score, but I think Bayern Munich will just power through. As I say, they have to win, and I think they will. I'm going to go 3-1 to Bayern Munich. Share your thoughts, because I really do feel like Bayern Munich have to win, but I think they will. The next game is Feyenoord versus RB Salzburg, and we were just talking about Feyenoord. They won 3-1 away at Benfica last time in the Champions League. A really impressive win. Can they build on it here? I think they can. RB Salzburg are struggling. They lost 2-0 at home to Dinamo Zagreb last time. I just don't see them getting anything here. They really need to, because they are 34th in this table. They might get a goal. I don't know. Kanate maybe. But I look at this Feyenoord team and you see Ueda, I think, scored in the last game. Milambo got 2 goals against Benfica. And I think they'll find a way of scoring the goals and winning this game. I'm going to go 2-0 to Feyenoord. The home advantage is crucial, and ultimately they've been the better out of these two in the Champions League so far. The next game is Inter Milan versus Arsenal, and it feels like it should be a good game based on the performances we've seen from these two in the Champions League. I mean, they're both in the top 10. Maybe you could say for Arsenal, they've not been at their complete best, but they have been finding a way to get results. This could be a tricky one. Inter Milan are 7th in the table, and I don't think it'll be a pushover for Arsenal. They've got a lot of catching up to do in the Premier League this season with some of the points they've dropped there, but they need to keep their head down and just carry on with the Champions League campaign at the same time and keep grinding out results. Arsenal, of course, have the quality. Saka, Martinelli. We know they're missing a few players, but they did win their last game in the Champions League 1-0 against Shakhtar Donetsk. Inter Milan last time won 1-0 away at Young Boys. They left it late, but they did do it with a Thuram goal. They've also got Taremi and Arnautovic, so they carry a threat. I'm going to go for another draw here. I'm slightly leaning towards Arsenal, but I don't think a draw would be that bad at the same time, so I'll go 1-1, and that should keep both teams in that top 10 for another week or so in this competition. So I'm going to go for a draw here, but do share your thoughts on that one. It feels like a difficult one to call. This one should be interesting. It's PSG versus Atletico Madrid, and they both need to get a move on in this competition because they are both quite far down the table. PSG are 19th. We mentioned earlier that they drew 1-1 with PSV in their last game. They really need a win to be considered one of the favourites in this competition. Atletico Madrid, very disappointing as well last time. 3-1 home loss to Lille. We've mentioned the quality Atletico Madrid have got. Griezmann, Alvarez as well. PSG, of course, though, have Dembele, Barcola, Kolo Muani. There is so much potential on this pitch for loads of goals and a good game, but it feels like they've both struggled to get moving in the competition so far. That said, I think I will call a winner, and I might just go with the home advantage. PSG 2, Atletico Madrid 1, and that would be a really bad result for Atletico Madrid, who are struggling to get moving in this competition. Next up, and we have Red Star Belgrade versus Barcelona, and this feels like it could be a heavy win for Barcelona because Red Star Belgrade have been conceding lots of goals in the Champions League. Last time it was a 5-1 away defeat to Monaco, and on the other hand, Barcelona won 4-1 at home to Bayern Munich, a great result. And of course, like I say, we mentioned earlier, they beat Real Madrid 4-0 recently as well. So I'm going to go 4-0 to Barcelona here, but it could be even heavier. I think 4-0 is a fair prediction, to be honest. I think maybe if Red Star Belgrade really give it a go, they might get 1 goal and might try and keep it from getting to 3s and 4s, but it could go the other way at the same time and be a real landslide win to Barcelona. I think Rafinha got a hat-trick against Bayern Munich. I think Lewandowski scored, so I expect those two to get involved with the goals here, and I'm going 4-0. On to the next one. There's only 2 games left, and now we have Sparta Prague versus Brest. Sparta Prague, we mentioned earlier, they lost 5-0 away to Manchester City. Now, as bad as that is, it is Man City at the same time, and I don't think you can massively judge a team on losing to the quality that Manchester City have. That said, if they want to qualify through this league phase, they need to get points at home, and hopefully in this game for their fans. But Brest have been decent in the competition so far. They are 5th. They drew 1-1 with Bayer Leverkusen last time, and I think they're going to win this. Could be close, maybe. I reckon Sparta Prague might get a goal, but I'm going to go for Brest 2-1 on this occasion. Like I say, they've been great in the competition so far, and if they keep winning and winning games like this, then like I say, they might finish in that top 8 at the end of this and qualify straight through into the knockout phase. Share your thoughts. The final game to predict is Stuttgart versus Atalanta. It's 18th versus 17th. Is there going to be much to separate these two? Well, let's find out. Last time out, Atalanta could only manage a 0-0 draw against Celtic. It looks like on the stats they really did pepper that Celtic goal, but just couldn't break them down and didn't seem to have the ability to unlock their defence. On the other hand, well done Stuttgart, great win away at Juventus in the last minute. Toure with the goal in stoppage time. And on top of Toure, they've also got Undav and Demirovic, and I think the quality to win this game as well. Let's go Stuttgart 2, Atalanta 0 as my final prediction here. It could be a close game, maybe, because they're right next to each other in the table, but I think Stuttgart did look good last time out, and I think they're going to follow it up with another win to move them up the table. Stuttgart 2, Atalanta 0. And so then, guys, that does now wrap up the Champions League predictions for Week 4. Be sure to share your predictions down in the comments, guys. I'm always interested to see what you guys have to say. Let's agree and disagree respectfully. If you don't agree with my predictions, that's fair enough, but you don't have to be horrible in the comments. If you enjoy what you see and you want to see more Champions League content, then make sure you've dropped a like and subscribed as well. And we're really close now to 82,000 subscribers, so please do get involved and support the channel. Thank you once again. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace out.